Are you curious to know how millionaires buy homes? What kind of homes they buy, what they prioritize when looking at homes, and how they approach the whole buying process in itself? Well, you're in luck. In this video, I'm going to review exactly that. How millionaires buy homes, and more specifically, the 10 home buying traits of a millionaire. Hi, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. As a point of reference, all these traits are based on actual survey of millionaires that Dr. Thomas Stanley lays out in his book, The Millionaire Mind. So I'll be primarily referencing this study when talking about the home buying traits of millionaires. Alright, to start out with, the number one home buying trait of a millionaire is that they buy with the eye of staying put. And staying put for a long period of time. It could be considered old-fashioned, but the majority of the millionaires in the book Millionaire Mind buy homes and tend to hold them for a long period of time. More than one half the millionaires had not moved in 10 or more years. And more than 1 in 5 were living in the same home they purchased at least 25 years ago. Many of the millionaires in this survey stated the reason they seldom moved was because many of them were self-employed or business owners. So moving away from their customers or suppliers would have a significant negative influence on the productivity of their business. Though now we're living in a time period where work and business can be done more remotely, we can't deny the fact that moving is quite disruptive. Most often, just the process of moving requires so much energy and time. So if we're in the market looking for a home right now, it may best serve to look at it with a long-term perspective. Can I see myself thriving in this environment for the next 10 years? Or how about even 20 years? If that's hard to imagine because of our career aspirations or family circumstances, maybe it might be better to rent than buy. The number 2 home buying traits of millionaires is that when they're in the market to buy, they play the long game, practicing a lot of patience and never trying to purchase a home within a short period of time. The millionaires in the Millionaire Mind never placed themselves in a position where they were forced to accept a substandard home. Like a lot of decisions in their lives, millionaires approach the home buying process the same as they would any other investments, carefully planning and studying their target before making their purchase, being very deliberate and calculating instead of being driven by emotion. For the majority of Americans, home buying is probably the biggest financial decision of our lives. We're talking about tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in down payment, and hundreds, if not sometimes millions of dollars in borrowed money. But how many Americans slow down to take the time in their home purchasing decision? If the 2008 financial crisis showed us anything, it was that not many of us. Playing the long game requires a lot of patience and self-control. The willingness to not be swayed by salesy real estate agents and mortgage lenders. Buy when it works best for you, not for everyone else who is trying to make money from you. The number 3 home buying trait of millionaires is that they bargain shop. According to a survey, 1 in 4 millionaires reported searching for a bargain home that was part of a foreclosure, divorce settlement, or estate sale. And what was interesting was that the wealthier the millionaire was, this number increased. While a quarter of all millionaires bargain shopped, this number jumped to more than 1 in 3 when surveying deca millionaires. What this shows is that the wealthy became wealthy because they were constantly looking for deals. And we aren't talking about 2-for-1 deals at Old Navy, but real deals that are not only hard to come by, but really hard to afford. Who wouldn't want to buy a home that is being sold below price? However, most often these are coming to the market during recessions and major market plunges. A good chunk of the homes in the market after the 2008 financial crisis were due to foreclosures. But the majority of people who are living month to month can't afford to take advantage of these opportunities when they occur. Millionaires and deca millionaires. We may not all follow the same strategies that these millionaires used, but the lesson here is that we want to have enough financial cushion in our lives to take advantage of the next new opportunities if and when they present themselves to us. The number 4 home buying traits of millionaires is that they negotiate. It's easy to assume that rich people look down on negotiating prices as an activity that is beneath them. I mean, I sure thought so when I had no money. Millionaires have so much money. Why do they need to degrade themselves into trivial activities like negotiating? However, according to millionaires in the Millionaire Mind, the truly smart wealthy individuals always negotiate. They hardly ever pay the initial asking price for any home. 86% of millionaires surveyed said they always ask for a discount when negotiating. Yes, when a true bargain presents itself, they do pay the asking price so they can snatch the deal before anybody else. But negotiating the initial price is always their default. So next time we're looking at a home sticker price, or even anything else for that matter, don't be afraid to ask for a discount. It's not something that poor people do, it's actually what the rich do. The number 5 home buying traits of millionaires segues nicely from our earlier point, and that is that they're always willing to walk away from any deal on any home at any time. A self-made deca millionaire responded in the survey that we should never even start negotiating to buy anything that we would have a hard time walking away from. Most often, we buy with our emotions rather than with our head. We love the beautiful lawn and the big oak tree, or the pastel paint color of the house. And before we know it, we're willing to pay whatever the seller is asking for because we've already given our hearts away to this house. However, just like we mentioned earlier, millionaires approach their home purchase with their investment vetting hat on. Careful, analytical, and deliberate. But this is really hard to do if we're emotionally tied to a home. We're all humans, so we can't be complete robots. But think about this trait next time you're looking at a home. Because if you enter into negotiation without the ability to walk away, you've already given away your advantage. The number 6 home buying trait of a millionaire is that they don't do custom homes. According to Millionaire Mind survey, only a small percentage of millionaires had ever had a home custom built for them. And the primary reason was because of the arduous task associated with managing a custom home build. For those of us who have never built a custom home, we could easily assume that building a custom home is similar to buying a home. We just get to pick and choose exactly what we want. However, what many of us don't understand is that building a custom home is akin to building a business. You will not only need to finance the whole endeavor, but manage contractors and every other logistics related to building a home. And what happens if something goes wrong with the contractor that you're working with? Or the project falls beyond the timeline, or over budget? All of that would be on us. There's a good reason the majority of millionaires shy away from custom homes. The number 7 home buying trait of a millionaire is that they have a really good understanding of affordability. Essentially, how much home can we afford, and is that number reasonable and realistic? And if we're honest with ourselves, we all tend to skew this number this way and that until it meets our own personal satisfaction, right? Can I afford this new car? Well, yes, because I can afford a monthly payment. Can I afford this new laptop? Well, yes, because the credit card just extended my credit. Can I afford this wedding? Well, yes, because all the cash gifts from the guests should pay for the majority of it. Some of these smaller justifications might not have major consequences, but when we start to skew our affordability of a house, it can have some devastating impact. A good way to assess our affordability is this. If my annual income was cut in half, can I still make the mortgage and related payments? If my investments also decline by 50%, could I still make ends meet for several years? If our answers to these scenarios are shaky, we might be overstretching our affordability calculation. The number 8 home buying trait of a millionaire is that they buy only after they have accumulated some level of wealth, and only after they have well-established, predictable cash flow. Buying a home before we're financially ready is so tempting. We want to show the world how independent and successful we are, and nothing says that better than a nice home we can invite our parents and friends to. But know that the world isn't a kind place to anyone. All our future is full of uncertainty and unknowns. So when we're buying a home without reaching a level of financial stability, we're really putting our whole financial future at risk. Even millionaires only bought a home when they felt they were fully qualified to do so. Let's follow suit and bide our time. The number 9 home buying trait of a millionaire is that they buy enough. Enough to be comfortable in their home, but nothing more. Based on social media, all millionaires live in mansions with 14 rooms and 17 bathrooms. However, these are just mythical fantasies created by just a select few wanting to show off their wealth. In reality, more than half the millionaires lived in a home that had 4 or fewer bedrooms. A good chunk had 3 bedrooms or less. Not quite what we imagine social media millionaires to be living in, right? Many of these stable millionaires became wealthy because they understood the concept of enough. Enough to keep them satisfied, but nothing more. They recognized that additional bedrooms and bathrooms just came with additional costs and additional work that didn't add to their overall wealth. So next time we're imagining ourselves wanting to live in a 12-bedroom mansion, let's ask ourselves what our enough is. The number 10 home buying trait of millionaires really resonated with me, and that is that they prioritize excellent public schools. They seek neighborhoods that had excellent public schools. The average cost of private schools range anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 annually based on where we live. And I know this too well because before they entered first grade, both my kids were at a private preschool for many years. And as any parent who sent their kids to private preschool knows, they are expensive. I couldn't imagine continuing this trend for their K-12 education. I would not only be significantly poor, but never have gotten to a financial position where I could dedicate my time to making these YouTube videos. That's it guys, thank you guys for watching. I know a lot of the traits that I went over might not be completely all relevant to us, but I hope they provide some additional information to our own home buying decision making. If you'd like to learn more about home buying, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.